Hey, if you're a dog owner here in Largo, Florida, you are in the right place. We're going to walk you through everything you need to know to find the perfect trainer to help you and your pup really enjoy life in our town.
So, picture this, a nice, calm walk through Largo Central Park. Or maybe you're just relaxing at an outdoor cafe, and your dog is just chilling. No pulling, no barking, no jumping on people. That's the dream, right? Well, getting that awesome Largo lifestyle with your dog, it all kicks off with the right kind of training.
Okay, so here's what we're going to cover today. First, we'll talk about setting your goals right here in Largo. Then we'll get into training styles and formats. After that, a really big one, how to actually check out a trainer. We'll also look at typical costs and wrap up with some local rules and resources you'll definitely want to know about.
All right, let's jump into Section 1, setting your Largo goals. Seriously, before you even start Googling trainers, you've got to know what you're trying to accomplish. Good training really starts with having some clear, realistic goals in mind.
Yeah, think about your everyday life in Largo. What do you really need? Things like calm, loose leash walking, right? Or greeting people without jumping all over them. Being able to focus at a park or on a patio with all those distractions, that's a big one. And, making vet visits just a little less chaotic for everybody. A good trainer helps you nail these practical, real-life skills.
Okay, moving on to Section 2. Here we're going to talk about training philosophies and the different formats you'll find. Basically, the how behind it all, the methods trainers use, and the ways they deliver the training.
The method that pretty much all modern humane trainers use is called positive reinforcement. It's not just about making your dog sit. It's way more about building trust. You're rewarding the good stuff, the behaviors you want to see more of, with treats or praise. It just makes training work, and honestly, it makes it fun for you and your dog.
So, how does this training actually happen? Well, you've got a couple of main options. Group classes are awesome for socialization and learning to focus when other dogs are around. But if your main problems are at home, like your dog goes nuts when the doorbell rings or is a professional counter surfer, then private sessions are probably what you need for that focused one-on-one help.
And hey, there are other formats too. You might see something called board and train, where your dog actually goes to live with the trainer for a bit for some really intensive work. There's also day training, which is super convenient. The trainer works with your dog during the day, and then they teach you what you need to know to keep up the good work.
All right, Section 3. This is a big one. How to vet a trainer. So you've got your goals, you've thought about the format, now you have to pick the right person. Let's talk about what you should be looking for.
So one of the best ways to know if a trainer is legit is to look for professional credentials. These aren't just fancy letters after their name. They mean the trainer has actually passed tests, they have to keep learning to stay certified, and they follow a code of ethics. It's a really good sign.
And here are some of the key ones to keep an eye out for. That first one, CPDTK, is for Certified Professional Dog Trainer. It's a really common and respected one. It tells you they know their stuff. Now, if you're dealing with more serious issues like major fear or reactivity, seeing something like an IABC or CBCC certification means they have specialized knowledge and behavior.
Okay, when you actually talk to a trainer, you should be the one asking the questions. Think of it like you're interviewing them for a job. Here's your checklist. Ask them, what methods do you use? How are you going to create a plan specifically for my dog? How do we know if we're making progress? And of course, what's the total cost? A great question to ask is if they offer a free consultation, just to see if you click before you commit.
Okay, Section 4. Let's talk money. We need to cover the typical costs for training here in Largo. Knowing what to expect for a budget makes the whole process way less stressful.
So here's a general idea of the average costs in the Largo and Pinellas County area for 2025. You can see a group class for a few weeks is usually in that $150 to $280 range. A single private lesson, probably around $100 to $180. And then you see the bigger packages and board and train programs. Those are obviously a much bigger investment. It just shows there's an option for pretty much every budget and need.
And last but not least, Section 5, local rules and resources. Being a great dog owner here means knowing the lay of the land. So we're going to cover the important local rules and point you to some awesome places to practice all those new skills.
Okay, 3 things every dog owner in Pinellas County needs to know. First, we have a leash law. Your dog has to be on a leash in public unless you're in an official dog park. Simple as that. Second, Florida law says your dog has to have its rabies vaccination. And third, Pinellas County requires a dog license for any pup over 4 months old. Just the basics of responsible ownership here.
And here's a little local tip that's super helpful.
Largo has noise ordinances, which means that, yeah, nonstop barking can actually become a problem with your neighbors. So training for quiet behavior isn't just for your own sanity, it really helps you be a good neighbor too.
So, once you start learning all this new stuff, where do you go to practice? Well, we've got some great spots. The Largo Central Park Dog Park, Walsingham Park, Taylor Park. These places are perfect. They are your real-world classroom for practicing recall and focus with all sorts of distractions around. And really, this is what it's all about. The right training does so much more than just teach sit and stay. It helps your dog become a confident, happy companion that can truly be a part of your Largo life.
So just think, once you have that well-trained dog by your side, what's the first Largo adventure you're going to tackle together? Maybe a trip to a local brewery patio, or a walk through a busy downtown event without any stress? The right training just opens up your world. We hope this helps you on your journey. Having a dog you can take anywhere with you, well, that's just the best feeling there is.